Oh, that's a great name. That's a really fun name. Would you like a balloon, Edie? There you go. Wow, you've got some balloons now. That's great. They told you the news. Someone called out your name. Sometimes these things happen and no one's to blame. You can howl at the moon. Oh! You can scream at the sun. Ah! Because having cancer isn't much fun. I wrote a kids book that's a little bit about cancer, and I've written one as well about stress. But this one is like talking more about the feelings that you have when that you go through when you get sick. I'm making you noise. Sorry. It's money that goes into the project, but I'm supporting Vic Sargent and giving information out about the charity for people because they help support people and families when their kids get sick and stuff. So I want people to know where to get information from. I had cancer. So I had cancer a couple of years ago, and the experience, I was like, for me it was like being a kid, and the experience, I wrote this poem in the middle of the night, in the middle of chemotherapy, and I would read it to myself when I was feeling bad, when I was having bouts of chemo and going through things, and it started to make me feel better. It just made me feel better inside, and then I started reading it to my friends, and it helped them understand, because instead of the word cancer, they could put any word in there, and it helped us empathise and connect. And I felt like families and people don't really have an in. So if someone dies or if someone's really sick, there's not really a book that goes, well, how do we start that topical conversation? So what I wanted was a book where you can engage people on a lot of different levels for kids, because they should, they're processing it all in their own way. So yeah, so that's why I've got Rosie. Yeah. Thank you. It's over the head and back.
And there's a good book on that topic. You might have read it already. Something like Walter's No Need to Worry Suit, which I read. That's good. So I like that sort of thing. It's good, isn't it? To sort of teach kids how to, be confident.
And I think a lot of people go through that because it's how you deal with stuff. Because you'll have worries. Things might not go the way you want them to, and it's how you cope with it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's really hard being a kid. I think it's harder probably being a kid now.
Probably, yes.
There's way more stuff, and they're very.
What do you think, Adam? Is it hard being a kid?
Yes, wow. Tough as hell. Tough as hell. Q&A section, I'll Q&A.
I was gonna say, how would you describe this sort of situation to teenagers? Because obviously during teen years, it's hard to express yourself. So when you have to express something that's even worse.
I mean, look, for me, I'll be really honest. I think I was like a teenager because I was partying with my friends, traveling the world, having fun. Doing fun things. Doing really fun things, and then all of a sudden, my life just stopped. And it's like, for me, it was really difficult. And I mean, I think this is a good thing because it's not patronising. I just feel like it's hard to relate to people that are going through really tough experiences, but I think if you read the book and you went through it and you kind of replaced the word cancer with anything, like think of any bad experience, like a breakup or a this or a that, anything that stops you dead in your tracks, we can all kind of relate. There are some things that are really tough. I think the hardest things in life are when you're a teenager, or when you were me and all your friends were going out on a Saturday night and you were having chemo and I just had no energy to do anything. Like I remember at one point my brain melted. Like I was meant to go out and I'd slept the whole day and relaxed, and I went out and I physically could not be out. And that feeling of just that tiredness, that was just bottoming out intense, you know, like, but I mean, I think being there for your friends or listening to them and stuff, that's probably the most important thing.
Next week, talking about stress and anxiety.
Yeah.
Also, I just wanted to ask, because like, I'm doing my A-levels next year.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't know, because like, I was going through like a lot of anxiety this year with the GCSEs, because it was a brand new spec and everything.
Yeah.
And it was too much, like to the point where I like cry over the amount of work that I had.
Yeah.
So like, how would you like deal with all of that stress and anxiety? Like, just not with like taking medicine and all of that, because that can physically drain me, because I did that. And that wasn't great. But like, how would you like talk about it? Because like my friendship group is pretty like, they don't take things seriously like as teenagers. They never find anything funny. They will find everything funny.
Everything's sarcastic.
So everything's just surface level. They never want to go in depth through everything, like with anxiety that I suffered.
Yeah.
So,
But I think sometimes that's other people's discomfort with something, because it's really hard, like, oh my god, that's happening to you and I'm feeling a bit of that, and that's kind of weird. Let's make a joke. Let's not talk about it. It's really tough. I mean, for me, my background is mental health, so this is the kind of stuff that I've dealt with forever in Lambeth, you know? And I get really stressed myself, like super stressed. Like I've cried over graphs. I have cried, I'll put my hand up and say I have cried about graphs and statistics.
that's bad. I cried over a bus that didn't come for my revision session.
Dude, yeah, I think we have all cried. I think the thing is that's like, I guess it's normal, because sometimes you just feel so overwhelmed with everything that it's just you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. And after I got sick, the one thing I'd say is, imagine you got hit by a bus tomorrow, right? Okay, imagine there were no, like, as in a little bit, not all the time, you still have to think about your future, but imagine that. How do you want to spend this day? What nice things can you put in there for yourself that help you? Is it that you need to take a bath and just have some de-stress time? Is it that you need to find some friends we call them DNMs, like deep and meaningfuls? Do you have some friends you really need to kind of go deep with, and you're like, you are going to be my deep person. We're going deep today. Let's go for a coffee. We're having a coffee and we're going to go deep. You know, you need to find the things, the structures in your life that help make you feel good, and do more of the things that make you feel good.
Even this conversation, I might go home and think, I sound like an idiot.
No. Nah, you sound amazing. You're fantastic. Please remember this. You sound amazing. Thank you for having this conversation, and you do not sound like an idiot. And that's me telling you to your face. But that's what I do. I test my reality. If I'm feeling weirded out about something, rather than carry the weirdness in my head and go, well, I think I sounded stupid, I go, hey, I think I sound a bit stupid. And then the person is usually like, nah, man, you're cool, right?
I'm scared to say that.
But it's cool to say it, because once you say it, it's out there, and then the person has the opportunity to go, like I did, nah, man, just not the truth at all, you know? That's how it works. It's like, but you have to be really brave to do that stuff. But once you put it out there, most of the things we think in our head are bullcaca. They just are not real. They're just things that we think.
Yeah.
And everything we think, it isn't really real, but it has the power to do some seriously, intensely destructive stuff. So.
That's perfect. But I have one more question.
Yes.
Well, this is nothing to do with cancer or anything. But like, I was gonna ask, because you're doing a book, obviously, like stress and anxiety, and like, obviously, because I'm a teenager, it is hard to grow up and look at yourself and go, yeah, I'm not pretty. And like, I feel like, because you said you were an occupational therapist, you might have like a few key points about like self-love and so like, yeah, because like, it's hard when you're the only, like when you see yourself as like just yourself, and you become so conscious about what other people see yourself as. like for now, for example, the camera there, I could look so much different on the camera than what I feel like I look like at the moment.
And other people will see you different than how you see yourself looking at the camera.
And I get scared about that sort of thing. Like I become very like self-conscious about it because of like people. Like I don't dress a certain way in front of my friends because I'm scared of thinking, oh, she's like just like that, like not fitting within our
Social
what's going on. Like with these jeans, I could never wear this in front of my friends because this is who I am. I like to dress however I want to dress.
But that's your expression, like.
But it's hard. How would you say to deal with that during your teenage years?
It's not even your teenage years. I think every girl grows up with an ugly girl inside her that they feel is ugly. And the one thing that makes me, well, look, I looked at my butt the other day in the mirror because I had to try something on. Do you look at your butt and you just go, what is that thing? But you know, what makes me really happy is that everyone who's ever liked me, every guy I've ever dated, they've never gone, do you see that bruise and stretch mark on your butt? They've always been like, you're awesome. No one that I love has ever, you know, they've always felt really lucky to be with me, and I felt really good to be with them. And also I know really amazing people, so I kind of feel like these people would love me if there was something good in me to love, right?
So maybe it's about social group then.
I think there is definitely that, but I also think internally there's this thing about giving yourself a hug. So sometimes I get really sad and I'm really hard on myself. Like I'll leave this situation and be like, what did I do? What did I say? Because it's not a teenage thing, it's a human thing. It's just something we all go through. It's just that some people feel like some people just bury it a lot better, but I think even supermodels have that. Isn't it ridiculous? I think to myself, there's a supermodel out there thinking she's ugly when she's half my leg and she's like, you know, got
she's
8
like the
hours.
most beautiful person ever to the social media and everything.
Yeah, or like there are times in my life where I've come off a mountain and I've been stinky and horrible and everyone's wanted to hug me and guys have thought I was the hottest person on earth. So for me, it's like I keep thinking to myself, when I do what I love and when I feel good in myself, then I attract people. How do I feel good in myself? When I'm having a hard time, like I can only tell you what I do for myself, and if bits of it stick, great, or things that I would tell people that I work with. When I'm feeling down, I think of myself as a different person. I think of myself outside of myself. So I go, Sarah, not me. And I talk to myself the way I talk to a friend, because I would never give a friend the same hard time I give myself. I would never be like, your ass is fat in those jeans. I would never say that to a friend. I'd be like, you're awesome, right? So I try and think of Sarah as a person who's there, and then I go, man, you've had a really tough day, and that interaction was really hard. And I try and like sort of give myself a little hug, or try and think of something nice to do for myself. And it's trying to be kind to yourself, but sometimes I feel like it's easier if you can think of yourself, if you can say the words. If I were being a friend to me, what would I say? And think of the words you'd say to your friend. Think of the advice you'd give a friend and give that advice to yourself. And that's the start to being kind. Yeah.
That's perfect. Well, thank you so much for having really good advice.